and welcome to this month's Kay & Burton Market Report. I'm Mona Ibellini, and this report is brought to you by Kay & Burton and Dr. Andrew Wilson from My Housing Market. End-of-year sellers have flooded the Melbourne auction market in near-record numbers, providing more choices for buyers and more competition for sellers, and predictably putting downward pressure on recent boom time clearance rates. The usual November rush to market has been exacerbated this year by waves of activated post-lockdown sellers, recently constrained by the COVID restrictions that have now eased. The satisfaction of pent-up buyer demand and reduced affordability through the remarkable price growth of the past year have acted to deplete buyer numbers, with lower clearance rates a clear consequence. Melbourne recorded an overall weekend auction clearance rate of 74.3% over November, which was lower than the 79.1% reported over October and similar to the 74.8% recorded over November last year. November auction numbers were the second highest on record and only just behind the 5,267 listed over November 2015. Melbourne recorded a weekend median auction price for houses of $1.08 million over November, which was higher than the $1.05 million recorded over October and 3.9% higher than the $992,000 recorded over November last year. Melbourne reported a weekend auction sales turnover over November of $2.09 billion at a weekend average of $525 million. That was again well ahead of last year's November average result at $230 million. Melbourne's Inner East reported the highest median house price sold at weekend auctions over November at $1.52 million, followed by the Inner South at $1.3 million. Clearance rates in Melbourne's premium inner suburban auction markets were also marginally lower over November compared to October from overall higher listing volumes. Auction prices in premium areas were generally steady over November compared to October. Mornington Peninsula weekend auction clearance rates remained at high levels over November, although slightly lower than October results. The Melbourne auction market is set to steady over the final weekends of the year as the recent surge in listings dissipates as the long holiday break approaches. Booming house prices over 2021 have acted to gradually sideline buyers as rising affordability barriers have restricted activity. The pent-up demand generated by the COVID restrictions of the past 2 years is also now depleting as a result of strong sales activity. Although buyer activity is easing, the Melbourne market is set to remain generally positive for sellers, particularly in higher-priced inner suburban markets. The recent announcement of an imminent reinstitution of high levels of migration will act to keep demand ahead of supply, with market confidence underscored by the RBA's recently reaffirmed outlook that official interest rates will remain at current levels until at least 2024. Thank you for watching this month's Kay & Burton Market Report. We look forward to seeing you next month.